I welcome you all to Nandip Academy for UPSC and MPSC. In this session, we are going to study multiple choice questions that are based on the Hindu of 17 December 2020. Let's begin with the first question. Consider the following statements regarding the National Family Health Survey. 1. The first survey of the National Family Health Survey was conducted in the year 1992-93. National Family Health Survey 5, that is the fifth round, has been carried out in the year 2019-20. Third, surveys are carried out in representative sample households throughout India. Which of the above statements are correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 and 3, C. 1 and 3, or D. 1, 2 and 3. So in this context, the answer is, if you know about the National Family Health Survey, it is C, that is 1 and 3. I'll also tell you why the third answer is why C is correct, that is the first statement and the third statements are correct, and why the fifth one is incorrect. For this, we also need to know something more about the National Family Health Survey. It is a survey that is carried out by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to bring out reliable data on emerging health and family welfare issues. The coordinating and the implementing agencies that are helping the ministry to bring out this health survey are the International Institute for Population Sciences, that is located in Mumbai, and a group of survey organizations and population research centers. At the same time, you also need to know that so far 5 family health surveys rounds have been carried out. The first being in 1992-93, which is mentioned in the first statement. The second round was carried out in the year 98-99. The third round was carried out in 2005-6. The fourth round was carried out in 15-16, and the fifth round was carried out in 18-19. And that is why the second statement is incorrect, where it is saying 1920. The International Institute of Population Sciences Mumbai is the nodal agency that is appointed and is responsible for bringing out the National Family Health Survey. The International Institute of Population Sciences has collaborated with the following international agencies for carrying out the survey, that is ORC Macro Maryland USA and the East West Center Honolulu Hawaii USA. All these together are responsible for bringing out the National Family Health Survey statistics. Let's move on to the second question. Consider the following statements regarding the World Trade Organization, WTO. 1. It was established on 1st January 1995. 2. It was created after the Uruguay round negotiations. Which of the above statements are correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. both 1 and 2, or D. neither 1 nor 2. So in this context, it is C, that is both the statements are correct. What else do you need to know about the World Trade Organization? It was established on 1st January 1995. The World Trade Organization operates as a global system of trade rules. It also settles trade disputes between member countries. So how many member countries are there? So far it has 164 member countries which represent 98% of the world trade. If a country wants to join the World Trade Organization, it has to bring its economic and trade policies in line with the World Trade Organization rules and negotiate its term of entry with the WTO membership. The Ministerial Conference is the top decision-making body, and it meets every 2 years for framing rules and settling disputes related to the member countries. Let's see the next question. Which of the following statements is not true regarding India's position in the Human Development Index 2019? This is a very important question, or we can say the information that is related to the HDI is very important. It will help you both in answering questions related to your prelims and your mains. It will also help you in your essay writing. So let's see which are the statements. A. Sri Lanka, Brazil, and Bangladesh score better in the Human Development Index 2019. B. India dropped 2 ranks in the Human Development Index 2019. For the first time, India has UN has introduced a new metric to measure the green impact of each country. And D, Ireland would replace Norway when the green impact metric is applied. So, which is not true? Here it is A, that is not true in regard to the Human Development Index 2019. That is because Sri Lanka, Brazil, and China are India's neighbors, which are ahead of India in the Human Development Index, whereas Bangladesh, Nepal, and Pakistan do not score better than India when it comes to the Human Development Index 2019. So it's the first statement which is incorrect. The other statements are correct and factual information related to the Human Development Index. We also need to know that the Human Development Index assesses a nation's health, education, and standard of living. It is on the basis of these three metrics that a rank is given to the country. India has improved an absolute value of the Human Development Index because its value in 2018 was 0.642, whereas in 19 it has increased to 0.645. So in absolute terms, it has increased, whereas India's ranking in 2019 is 131, but that of Sri Lanka, Brazil, China is better than India, and Bangladesh, which is 133, Nepal 142, and Pakistan is 154, fare worse than India. A green impact metric has been introduced for the first time that would reflect the impact that is caused by each country's per capita carbon emissions, material footprint, which measure the amount of fossil fuels, metals, and other resources used to make goods and services it consumes. So this is an important information when it comes to the green metric, to understand the green footprint that each country has caused while it is going on to make goods and services, and this is introduced for the first time. So it is in this context that you need to know about the Human Development Index in detail. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is about the US, and it is asking, recently US has included which country in the currency manipulators monitoring list? A, India, B, China, C, Brazil, or D, Pakistan? A, India. Yes, US has included India in the country as it has added India to its watch list. So what else do we need to know? It is the US Treasury labeled Switzerland and Vietnam as currency manipulators on Wednesday and added three new countries, namely India, to a watch list of countries it suspects of taking measures to devalue their currency against the dollars. Switzerland and Vietnam had intervened heavily in currency markets to prevent effective balance of payment adjustments. To be labeled a manipulator by the US Treasury, countries must have at least 20 billion plus $20 billion plus bilateral trade surplus with the US, foreign currency intervention exceeding 2% of the gross domestic product, and a global current account surplus exceeding 2% of the GDP. If a country fits into this criteria, only then it could be called as a manipulator by the US, and in this context, India has been put in the watch list of currencies to be labeled as manipulators. So that is all for today. See you in the next session with a new set of multiple choice questions. Thank you.